She was a hard.
Janice is in this?
The producers on America's Next Top Model, especially Tyra, were begging me to be harsher and cruel.
I cast Janice. She was 100% my idea.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Tyra, control freak? I don't know what you're talking about.
But Tyra goes to every single editing session.
Tyra's not gonna like this documentary. Just when we thought they exposed America's Next Top Model for the last time, no. Not even 10 minutes ago, I did a review on Netflix's documentary on America's Next Top Model. That was 3 whole episodes, an hour each. I'm thinking I'm done. And I thought wrong, because E came out with their own documentary on America's Next Top Model. It's a series called Dirty Rotten Scandals. And you guys wanted me to take a look, so here we are. We are reunited once again. I'm a photographer and I've spoken to the models on the show, so I have my own theories and I have knowledge of what they've told me about being on the show. So that's my perspective reacting to this. And as always, I have a bingo card of things I think they're gonna say, and every time something happens, we're gonna mark it off and maybe we'll get a bingo. So keep track with me. Let me read you what's on this bingo card for this video. Judges laugh at a contestant. You need to push through the pain type of comment. Reality TV was different back then. If I was on this show, I'd quit. Makeover meltdown mentioned. NDA mentioned. Tyra makes a situation about herself. Humiliating challenge clip. I was only 18 explanation. This would be canceled today. I rewind a clip in disbelief. Contestants say they were set up. Overly dramatic elimination speech. Fans were shocked commentary. Documentary uses intense dramatic music. Tyra defends a controversial moment. So those are all the things that will be on the bingo card. Again, as they come up, I'm going to be marking them off. And we'll see what happens. Are these predictions gonna come to life? Notice how I didn't put someone takes accountability on this, because I know better. I know. We've watched enough episodes to know at this point.
Over 20 years ago, I created a television show called America's Next Top Model. Tyra Banks.
The scattered applause. She's like, yeah, that was me.
You guys have no idea how hard we fought to bring the diversity to that television show at a time when the world was like, what? You casting that and what? And what is that?
I don't know if that's what people were saying, Tyra. She's like, you were casting that? What? And not all the other problematic stuff. She just skips over all that. They cared more about the title of diversity than the actual women on the show. We wanted to ruin the lives of different types of people, not just one. It's all about diversity.
The mistakes were severe.
I trusted you with my dreams. How dare you take my life away from me?
Wow. Wow. This one's not messing around already. I'm like, this feels like a completely different vibe from the Netflix one.
Tyra Banks was the air that we breathed.
I love Sarah so much. She's in this. That's amazing. Tyra was the air that we breathe. I should have put that on my bingo card. I feel like I'm going to forget about my bingo card already. I'm not even a minute in. I'm like, I'm getting distracted. This already, you guys, it's crazy how this documentary feels so different already. We're a minute and 10 seconds in, and we're in another universe right now.
But truth of the matter, she was a hardcore
Janice is
bitch.
in this? Janice. Okay, so they didn't get her for the Netflix documentary, but she's in this one? Wonder what that's about. Okay. Yeah, let's hear what's gonna be said.
Do you know what I think of bullying?
Your pictures have been wah, wah, wah.
This compilation.
The crazy of the model.
The compilation. This documentary. Tyra's not gonna like this documentary. This documentary is going for the throat. Tyra's not gonna be part of this for sure.
The crazy of the models were the better ratings they got on television.
I don't understand why.
Wait, Janice, how are you gonna say the ratings they got? she was part of it. She's like, yeah, it was that. Like, don't try to separate yourself, Janice. Say we. The ratings we got. Janice popping up like, oh yeah, it was them. That's what they did. As if she wasn't a judge on this show for multiple seasons. These compilations are crazy.
It was a TV show.
Perez Hilton. Okay. I feel like I'm back in 2009.
I refuse to have my legacy be about some stuff linked together on the internet.
About some stuff linked together on the internet. Do you want to get into specifics? Do you want to give examples? Tyra never elaborates. I'm not surprised to hear Tyra generalize it like this. She's glad to talk about the casting and the diversity and the ratings and the success of the show. But everything else, no. Don't ask her about it. Just don't. I don't know. That wasn't my territory. I'm only an executive producer. She's like, I refuse to have my legacy be about all this other stuff. And then they proceed to release 2 documentaries about America's Next Top Model. Netflix and E is like, hold on, wait a second, Tyra.
I had never shaved my head like that before. And they throw you out in the world and they're like, yeah, feed you to the wolves.
They're not looking for the next model. They could care less.
All Tyra
That's Brittany. Is that Brittany?
all Tyra is doing is counting her money.
It wasn't a modeling.
And what about you? Let's not forget, Janice was one of the judges who said a lot of problematic things. Come on. Why is she acting like she's just another commenter? Yeah, I've never watched that show before. I heard it's pretty bad, yeah. Janice, you were on it. She was literally part of it. You sat next to Tyra Habibta. She's like, they were just counting their money. Okay, and what about you? Did you not get paid for that too? Wow. Totally different vibe than the Netflix one. This is crazy. That's crazy. And this is how I know Tyra's not involved in this one at all. They're showing so much more in this one than the Netflix one ever did. I feel like we're going to get answers from this one. Am I wrong to have hope? I don't know. I'm like, should I lower my expectations?
I was born in Harbor City.
KEENYAH's in this one too. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. I love the choices for the models that they're getting. KEENYAH. I also did a video with KEENYAH reacting to her episode. I'll have that in the description as well. All these girls are so lovely. And I don't know. It was just so great to meet all of them.
Tyra Banks was not just a model. She was a superstar.
I feel like Perez Hilton is here on Tyra's behalf. Like, Tyra couldn't be here, so they're like, okay, send in Perez. He's like, she was not just a model. She was a superstar. Okay, and it was not her territory. It wasn't in that. She had nothing to do with that. She had no idea. Okay, she was an executive producer, and the ratings were a success.
But by the mid-2000s, Tyra was no longer a 17-year-old skinny little model. And so for Tyra's career to continue, she had to grow outside of just the modeling world.
The early 2000s was like the wild, wild west, not just for the internet.
The wild, wild west. You didn't have to pay for 17,000 subscriptions. You didn't need an app for literally everything. If you want to go buy a coffee, oh, did you sign up in the app? You're out grocery shopping. Okay, do you have a phone number we can put in for rewards? I don't want to be rewarded for this, ma'am. I'm just trying to buy some lettuce. Just please ring me up and let me go home, please. I don't want to give you my phone number. I've been getting scam calls every day now. It's like, well, you've been approved for a business loan of $150,000. It's always $150,000 loan that I'm approved for. And then they leave me a voicemail, and then I see the voicemail, and then they do a missed call. Every day I expect them to message me.
Ex-girlfriend. Tyra wanted to extend her career and extend her visibility.
They begin by talking about the early 2000s. It was like the Wild West. There were shows like The Real World, Survivor, American Idol that were exploding in popularity. And then they talk about how Tyra tried to do movies and tried to do something other than modeling, but she never really made it big. And then how she dated Chris Webber, and she didn't want to just be known for that. Tyra was trying to extend her visibility and go outside of her modeling career.
Because I'm involved in being part of the fashion industry for so long, it's quality control. It's not going to be like a joke. The person that wins is...
She's like, it's not going to be like a joke. But read from this teleprompter lens. Read chartreuse and splish splash and giraffe. Just say, it's very important in the fashion industry that you say all these things. So they made the girls do a teleprompter challenge where they had to read like this whole script. It was discussed in the Netflix documentary. Tyra wanted the models to take it seriously, but they had them doing very unserious things.
The person that wins is going to go from being nobody to being the star in 8 weeks.
I don't know if that happened. A lot of the girls said that they left the show. Even the winners from the cycles say that they struggled getting jobs afterwards because of being on America's Next Top Model. Them literally being on the show hindered their chances of advancing their career as a model.
You'll be stepping on and off a moving carousel.
I never watched this one. A moving that carousel is moving pretty quickly. They were like, okay, do ×2 speed on that. Yeah, it's for the fashion industry, for the so we can teach them how to be great models at 2 times the speed. That carousel looked like it was moving 100 miles per hour.
Then one of the most defining things about Top Model is the makeover episode. Tyra comes in and is like, all right, you guys all look bad. I know how to make you look good.
And you're going to be bald. And you're going to be bald. Some of you. And a lot of you will get extensions.
And it did seem like the makeovers were engineered to make at least 3 people cry.
I love how specific that is. It's like it was engineered for 3 people to cry. At least the minimum of 3. Sometimes we did 3.5 depending on the season. Yes, but usually it was engineered for 3 people. For the capabilities of those 3, yes. We're going to cross off makeover meltdown mentioned on our bingo card. Because this is where we're heading. I see Katie crying here after they chopped her hair off. We got 1 down already.
They want to see if you react excessively to stress to make a good show.
It's all about emotional reactions and getting the girls to crash out, whatever it is. They make sure 3 cameras are pointed at you.
So in the casting process, they asked personality questions to see whether or not you are a volatile person.
We have a psychologist who comes and evaluates them even before they're chosen.
Whoa. Someone from the show just confirms this, that they had a psychologist come in. Well, I mean, I've heard this from the models from the show, but hearing someone who worked on the show say that that's very interesting.
The psych evaluations were no joke. I was in a room for 2 to 4 hours.
Wow.
They would ask, have you ever thought of wanting to commit suicide or hurt somebody? Hurt yourself? Are you depressed?
2 to 4 hours of that questioning. You know how sometimes the models will show up to a photo shoot and then it's like they have to face their fears? Where do you think they listed those fears? In this evaluation. Okay, tell us about yourself. What are you scared of? Okay, you're scared of frogs? Okay, we're doing a frog photo shoot. Yeah, and they did that to a model. On a reality show called Supermodel Me, she had a severe phobia of frogs. They posed with multiple frogs for this photo shoot, and this model was freaking out. They got the reaction they wanted, and I wonder where they learned that from.
It also shows Tyra, do we think they can handle the pressure?
Do we think they can handle the pressure of what we're about to do to them? How we're going to ruin their life? And this is someone who worked on the show telling us this.
I don't like to cast for conflict. We just cast strong personalities.
Tyra says they don't cast for conflict. And actually, that's very true. They don't cast for conflict. They're going to cast girls who are compliant, who do what the judges say, don't question anything, and don't try to inspire the other girls into standing up for themselves by standing up for yourself. Absolutely not. If you stand up for yourself or you have an opinion, you're not going to last on this show.
On my psychological evaluation, one of the questions that they asked was about my childhood. It did make me feel uncomfortable, but then I was like, well, this is reality TV, so I shrugged it off as nothing.
So Lisa, who I also interviewed with, tells us that they asked her questions about her childhood. Now you're probably thinking, okay, it's a modeling show. Why are they asking about childhoods? No, these people need to know everything about you in order to create environments in which they can get a reaction from you. So whether that's creating a challenge that that reenacts a moment from your childhood that was traumatic or sad, or if it's something that reminds you of your childhood or someone from your childhood, they're going to bring that up in an episode in some way, like through a challenge. Again, it could be a photo shoot. It could be anything to get you to have that emotional reaction. And it could trigger you on the show, and they want that on camera.
The show is pretty transparent about how it wants to mine the backstories of its contestants. Tyra is trying to make a show that's entertaining, even if it is a little exploitative.
A little? Who is this guy? He's like, you know, everyone knew that they were using people's family history and childhood trauma. And as the photo shoots concepts, of course, everyone knew that. Is that what you said? I have to rewind this one. I'm rewinding this one, so I'm going to check that off on the bingo card because I can't believe that was said. I do have to rewind to watch that twice because I want to make sure I heard that right.
The show is pretty transparent about how it wants to mine the backstories of its contestants.
But is it? We know that they did the psych evaluations and everything, but I feel like people thought, okay, they have to do that to make sure that the contestants are going to be okay and they are mentally fit to be on TV. Not to take that information and use it for the show, for the content of the show, right? I don't think the models knew that. I'm pretty sure if they thought their trauma and childhood stories were going to be used on the show, they wouldn't have said anything.
So what's this about your relationship with your mom?
They kept trying to pick and get more information about my mom. My mom was my abuser. My mom is the one that tortured me my whole life. They asked.
And they had this guy just saying it's a little exploitative, and then they cut to Lisa talking about how the judges tried to get her to talk about her mom who abused her.
What kind of abuse? How do you think your mom would feel right now?
And that had no place in the competition. Why are you asking about her mom? They had no business asking her that. For what reason? And again, it was all about entertainment for them.
The show is shocking audiences by putting not just explosive
Is that fans were shocked commentary on the bingo card? I think it is. Okay, guys, we're crossing off the fans were shocked commentary. So this is how the bingo card looks so far. We already have 3 squares. We're doing pretty good here.
But also asking a lot of its contestants to perform their kind of trauma on screen.
You might as well just...
They're making her watch that? Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, that stuff might be hard to watch. He just went from it's a little exploitative to they made them perform their kind of trauma on screen.
I wasn't eating correctly. I wasn't sleeping. And I probably had a couple too many glasses of wine.
Notice how they always have alcohol available to these girls. They always have alcohol available on these shows. Who brings in the alcohol to the house? Because doesn't production bring in the food for the girls? Are the girls going and getting that stuff, or does the production bring it? I don't know. Who's bringing it? I know the girls told me that they get money for food, but do some of them bring in alcohol? I don't know.
Because they were weaponizing my childhood trauma, they just with me emotionally.
Sleeping outside on the porch. Well, that's because she's drunk. That girl got a lot of issues.
They show a clip where they say Lisa's sitting on the porch and she's drunk. Yes, we can say they chose to drink, sure, but who's providing the alcohol? Why is it always readily available for these models? Also, if they have photo shoots and challenges, why would there be alcohol in the house? Models in the real world know that they shouldn't be drinking before a job. They know not to come hungover or having drank the night before. Like they know, okay, I have a job. I have to be responsible. So why are you then bringing in alcohol into this house if it's a display of the modeling industry?
Tyra made me look absolutely crazy. I felt like she decided we're gonna make a mockery of you, and then the whole world on top of that is gonna call you crazy and make fun of you. Corinne calls me an alcoholic bitch. That set the tone of what I've been called around the globe for over 15 years.
Oh my God.
I was set up to...
In situations like this, I always remind myself, there is a production team with people like Ken Mock and Tyra Banks behind the scenes, okay? Wanting to make sure their show is a success, and they're gonna do what it takes to push narratives, to trigger girls, to get reactions. Just saying, the environment that they set up was a setup to fail. They have limited communication to their families. They're isolated. They are doing these challenges day in, day out. They don't get enough sleep. They don't get control of the food. Allegedly, I don't know if they do, but I don't think that they do. Everything is a controlled environment. So the girls might get bored. They might drink. There's nothing else to do. But the thing is, the show wants drama. The show wants conflict. And what better way to help accelerate that than some alcohol?
I got into the editing bay and I was like, I love this.
You what? You got into the editing bay. But I thought the head of story wasn't your territory. What did she say? In the Netflix documentary, she was like, no, that's not my department. It's not my territory. Yeah, that wasn't me. And then here she's like, I was in the editing bay. It was so much fun. She looks more than happy to tell us this. We have to look, the only way we're going to get the truth is the old clips of Tyra. You think back then she's thinking they're going to make a documentary about all the problematic things they've done? No, she's going to be more truthful in these clips, in the older clips. That's why they didn't need Tyra for this documentary. They have Tyra during that time. And that's as truthful and real as she's going to get.
Putting it together, editing it.
Literally, she tells us herself. She's like, it was so much fun editing it, putting it together.
Not only is Tyra on set, but Tyra goes to every single editing session.
This documentary is too good. It's too good. Brilliant. Brilliant.
She really sits there and knows exactly what she wants to see fold out on tape.
So do you care to comment on Ken Mock effectively calling Tyra a control freak?
I managed to dodge that question fairly well, didn't I?
And present day, too. Let's not forget. Brilliant documentary. The editing in this documentary. I see what you guys are doing, and I love it. I love it. They didn't need to physically bring in these judges to sit in for this documentary. No. You're gonna be very honest with us because we're using your old clips. They were more honest in these clips back in 2006 than they're gonna be present day with everything being exposed. So the fact that this documentary they're digging up these old clips, incredible. Genius, genius.
Absolutely not. Tyra, a control freak? I don't know what you're talking about.
He doesn't know what you're talking. What are you talking about? Who's a control freak? Tyra? Tora Blinks? Never heard of her. I don't know who you're talking about. No. What show am I talking about again?
Absolutely not. Tyra, a control freak? I don't know what you're talking about.
He's like, I gotta keep this job. Tyra, no, she would never do such a thing. Never. Not to me. I mean, she did it to other people, yeah. All the models. She made a lot of people cry, but not me. I never cried once on this show. It was amazing. And I was paid. It was great.
Tyra is the puppeteer that was being psychologically tortured for the entertainment of the world and for Tyra Banks and the network's profit.
I mean, I do agree that they did use these narratives that they put on the girls to create these stories. Mr. J said it in the last documentary that they had a storyline that they had to push for each girl. And if the storyline ran out, then the girls got to go. So this is not something that's hard to believe. Dramatic music. Can I put... Documentary uses intense dramatic music. Come on, you guys. We have to do that one. It literally said dramatic music. We have 4 boxes checked. We're making good work of this.
So are you going to come back next season?
To America's Top Model? Of course. Until they get sick of me or I say something wrong and they fire me.
And she said something wrong almost every time on every episode. And they didn't. To the models, of course. To the models. And they never got sick of her. They're like, come back for another season, please. We like how you made that one girl cry and you said that she's ugly. Nobody, literally no one cared. No one cared what you could say whatever you wanted on this show. And it didn't matter. As long as the ratings were up, you were getting an invite back.
The most important judge is Tyra. But we really wanted somebody that was going to come in.
And they have Ken Mock in this. They brought in 2006 Ken Mock on this documentary. It's like the Netflix got 2026 Mr. J, Nigel, Ken Mock. But this documentary, they're like, we have something a little better. We have a special surprise in our arsenal. Yeah, all these people from 2006.
We really wanted somebody that was going to come in, that was going to kind of be a lightning rod. Someone who is not going to censor herself. 2006, Ken Mock introduces Janice Dickinson. So it's like the judges are a part of this documentary, but not really, but they are. They're a part of this.
I cast Janice. She was 100% my idea. I definitely wanted her because...
Brilliant. You guys, this documentary, they're like, we're not going to pay Tyra to sit in and just give us vague answers. We have all of her clips from the past. We're just dig that up for us. And it works so well. In 2006 and 2008, these people are going to be as honest as possible because the show wasn't viewed as problematic. They were happy to talk about all these things, how involved they were in editing, how Tyra was involved in picking the judges, and how they chose Janice because she's going to be a lightning rod and not censor herself. This is the honesty we like to see.
I definitely wanted her because I was like, you know what? She seems like she's going to be really honest and really tell it like it is. I had no idea she was going to be as honest and as tell it like it is as she is.
Looks like you landed from another planet because you have so much teeth.
Show Janice this clip, please.
This photograph looks like the batteries died in her vibrator.
The producers on American...
I hope they show Janice these clips. Just like they got Lisa to watch that clip of her, I hope they show Janice these clips. And get her. She's probably not going to care. She's probably going to be like, that was funny. She's probably not going to care. It's Janice. It's Janice.
The producers on America's Next Top Model, especially Tyra, were begging me to be harsher and cruel, like Simon Cowell was on American Idol.
And so you agreed to that? Okay. You can't blame other people for that. So they asked you to be meaner, and so you did that. Okay. Is this supposed to be like, well, it wasn't my idea. Yeah, I did it, but someone told me to. You still did it, though. I mean, am I supposed to think, oh, you know, it was them who wanted that. It wasn't really her. They wanted her to do that. Yeah, but she still agreed to do it.
If she doesn't want to be the one to say, you look fat and disgusting and your thighs are jiggling, she doesn't have to say it. Because Janice is going to be willing to take the lump on that.
They talk about how Tyra allowed Janice to be the bully, so she didn't have to be. So she didn't have to make these comments to the girls about their body, and she could just let Janice do all of that and take the heat for it. But at the same time telling her to be meaner and more cruel. So then she can look like the saint, like, oh, I'm not saying those mean things. But she is. It's Janice. But they told her to. In comparison to Janice, Tyra's going to look like a saint at the end of the day. Because Janice is being so mean with the comments. And then Tyra's, okay, she can make some problematic comments, but they're not as mean as Janice.
I was taken back by the judges and their comments. One minute they're saying, oh, you're just so beautiful. The next minute, oh, your body, look at this. You have all these.
Oh my God. That's incredible that she's in here. I love that they got her from Cycle 2.
Joanna has a lovely face. I think she needs to definitely work on her body. I think, I wouldn't want to see her in a swimsuit.
It almost felt like you're in.
But yeah, so and this documentary focuses more on the problematic side of things. They are showing really how toxic and mean these judges were with the specific comments to the models, and then showing us what the models thought. Nigel saying that he wouldn't want to see her in swimwear is absolutely insane.
It almost felt like you're in this vortex of a narcissistic relationship, going from the love bombing back to getting devalued at the drop of a hat. I didn't know what my backside really looked like, and to have cameras really zoning in on that, and to be so young and to have, you know, other people commenting.
It shows clips of Tyra asking the girls what their imperfections are and them zooming in on Joanna's body, like her back. This documentary really is showcasing everything so far. I mean, it's doing a very good job of it. The pacing is good and the content of this documentary is great so far.
When Tyra would say stuff to people about their bodies, it felt like it was coming from like a place like deep in there where she was like, "Oops, I haven't dealt with this yet, so let me just put it on you instead."
Oh my God. They have her, she's not holding back in this documentary. They should have had her in the Netflix documentary saying all this. They should have had her asking the questions. They talk about when Tyra was a supermodel, it was the era where the idea was being a 00. And Tyra was not that. They even pan to a clip where she says that she represents the modeling world and it's a body that's fuller, it's thicker, it's got a booty. Tyra mentions that she's 20 pounds heavier than these girls. She's doing this interview. So they're kind of talking about how Tyra herself didn't fit these standards of the 2000s. Like they mentioned skinny heroin chic, like Kate Moss and all these other models.
It seems like Tyra is sort of working her out on other people.
Yeah, like she's putting her insecurities. It's like she's projecting onto these models.
She's been explicit that she was viewed as too big for the runway. And Tyra really projected a lot of her traumas onto women who weren't necessarily ready to receive it.
Every question, everything we did got tied back to my weight. When I got the makeover, I looked great. It has since become the Karen haircut. It was like that short.
I love Sarah so much. Sarah is such a lovely person. You guys, she wrote a book. Sarah wrote a book. It's called You Want to Be on Top. So check it out. I'll have a link in the description. Genuinely nice person. Loved meeting her. She's so lovely.
There would always be a plus-size model or two, and they were kind of cannon fodder. We want women of all sizes, but then when there were women of all sizes treating the women of different sizes like
Yeah, I always said that. Like, they never had the clothes that fit them for the challenges. They always made them wear something different, and they treated them differently. So it's like, why are you're going to have this diverse cast of, like, different body sizes, different ethnicities and everything, but you're not going to accommodate for that. Especially for the body sizes, too. And you're going to treat them terribly. You're going to treat them terribly for that.
You know you're plus size. Suck a gut, baby. Anything hanging out, it looks nasty.
They were just recruiting these women who weren't traditional model size and then throwing them to the wolves.
Yeah, it seemed like they were doing that to criticize them and use them as just a storyline for the show. And treating them, and they always ostracized them and treated them differently.
When she came in, Sarah was openly a plus-size model. But then, over the course of filming, Sarah lost weight, and that became a problem.
Finally getting into specific things that happened to these girls, which is what was missing in the Netflix documentary. Was the Netflix one a documentary? It seemed like just a friendship circle. Not really much of a friendship circle now, but it's the circle of trust that is no more. The Netflix documentary could have just been an email where you added the judges and you're like, solve your problems.
Sarah was told that you're pretty despite this thing. And by virtue of what production has you doing, you lose weight. And they hold that against you.
The judges feel like you, Sarah, your place in the industry is kind of confusing right now because models are so skinny or they're plus size.
It's so important that they mention this. So far, I'm loving this documentary. I think they're hitting so many good points and it's very specific.
Here she is reinforcing the status quo when she promised us the opposite.
Yes.
So when you create an environment that you told me was gonna be better than this, and then you make it worse, that's up.
Absolutely, 100%. I agree with everything she says, everything. Anytime she comes up, I'm like, I already know I'm going to agree with what she said. Remember, Tyra always referenced the fashion industry. This is the real world of modeling. But then in other instances, she says they want to change it. It's like, pick one and stick to that.
We might see a clip of one comment.
I think it's the worst picture I've ever seen in my life. Your hair looks like a cockatoo there and here.
but we would be in front of the judges for hours.
Yeah, I heard about that. That the girls were put on ice too when they were waiting for the judges to make their final decision, and they couldn't speak to one another, and they just had to sit in silence. They mentioned elimination days were usually minimum 12 hours. What the hell are you doing for 12 hours? Okay, Stacy, thank you. You're eliminated. Goodbye. There you go. I saved you 11.9 hours. What are they doing for 12 hours? What could be said in 12 hours? Okay, I get the production needs to set up and everything, but how long does that take? Are they constructing a new building each time? They're like, we have a whole new set for today's elimination. What are we doing for this long?
All of us were sleep deprived. All of us weren't able to eat enough food. They know what they're doing. It's all intentional.
Yeah. The sleep deprivation. Think about what sleep deprivation does to someone. You don't get enough sleep. You're not eating well. That makes you irritable, like easily irritable. And that's what they want to make as much drama as possible on this show, to get you to be annoyed of every little thing. It really does feel like a psychological warfare type situation. We can all relate to being really tired, not having enough sleep, and being really annoyed at everything. So imagine nonstop and having the cameras rolling while that's happening to you. You have to understand the models sometimes act out of character on these shows. They do things they wouldn't normally do because of these environments that are set up against them. It's not like you're in the comfort of your home. You're not yourself 100% when you're in these types of environments.
If you can get through the pressure and look like a model,
and get through judging and get through us being evil, just knock you down and build you back up.
Them back in like 2000, what year was that?
Yes.
He's like, then you have what it takes. If you can get through us being evil. It's 2006. We have Jay Alexander, Jay Manuel, being honest, very honest and open and candid. They are happy to do this interview. They didn't seem very happy in the Netflix documentary. They're like, okay, when can I talk about when Tyra fired me? She hasn't returned my calls. When can I talk about that? Oh, the girl that was crying because we ruined her relationship? Okay, yeah, but what about Tyra firing me?
Lights were always on, even when you were ready to go to bed. There was no cell phone usage. You were not allowed to leave the house. No windows were allowed to be opened.
If we didn't follow
You can't even open a window. Imagine not being able to get fresh air. That would push me over the edge. لازم تهوي البيت. You have to open up the windows, like get the fresh air coming in, like circulating. You want me to be in dry, musty air? What's the reasoning for them not being allowed to open the windows? So you don't hear the sounds of nature when you're out there? Okay, that's only for once a month.
You're squeezing into an apartment with so many girls and only one bathroom's working.
And the rules are we will not film you in the shower or in the toilet stalls if there's only one of you.
If there's only one of you. And then Sarah tells us the second there's two of you, we can film you. So you get privacy unless there's two people in there. Then you don't have any privacy.
You're almost an animal for spectator sport versus a human being. Felt like it was an experiment to see how easy we could crack and break.
Wow. And she was the winner of her cycle, and she's telling us this. That you have one working bathroom? But then they told the girls that they had to shower together to help the environment. But they could film if there's two people. But if there's one person, you get privacy. But shower together.
The male model Bertini was actually hardcore flirting with me, telling me that he was going to come to the States and find me, and he
was going to find her.
It was just a lot.
You give me that.
He's like, will you give me that massage? What happened with KEENYAH was so awful, and how they dealt with it after she tried to stop it was so bad too. They did not care.
He was like grunting as he was dancing with me, and he stood a lot closer to me than the other models. He had on this tiny little loincloth fabric. And then it just got to the point where I realized that he actually had an erection.
What's the issue? I know it's not about feeling comfortable, but hearing moaning, it just threw me off.
Moaning where?
Like,
This part really pisses me off where Mr. J is like moaning where. Keenya did the right thing by stopping the photo shoot. Unfortunately, the crew did not care. This is the production that we're dealing with. When a model is being assaulted on a professional photo shoot and tries to stop it, they dismiss her. You can't win. You really cannot win against this machine. The machine of America's Next Top Model. This is the perfect example of how they view these models. They don't see them as people who should feel comfortable. And this is one of the examples. Again, Keenya being inappropriately touched, and they don't take it seriously at all.
It was flipped into me being a bit of a diva.
We're here in a professional situation. There are like 50 of us sitting here on set.
Right.
We're going with the flow.
Even with 50 people there witnessing this, no one did a thing. The model's saying she's uncomfortable. So just to give you an idea of what happens on the daily on this show, okay? When there's that many people involved, and yet no one steps in to stop anything, even when the model says she's uncomfortable.
It almost feels even more sinister to be in front of everyone. I really thought that I would be applauded for speaking up for myself.
What's interesting is that all of this is happening in plain sight. They're not trying to hide anything. I mean, there's 50 plus people there. Not one person was like, hey, I'm going to, let's talk about this. Let's try to step in. No one of this entire production crew. Have you ever thought about that? Like, they don't try to be secretive about this. Okay? It's literally being filmed, and they didn't care.
What's even crazier to me about that scenario is that it's not a real job.
Yes,
Keenya
exactly.
wasn't a girl who had to get the job done so that she can pay her bills next week.
Yes.
This was a fake shoot on a fake show.
Yes.
And there are people in charge who can do something about it.
It was just for this little judging panel, the picture. It's not for a campaign. It's not for a brand. Her agency didn't send her out on this. It is a fake shoot. It is. I love that she said that. It's not a real job. She's not being paid for this.
Tyra Banks reprimanded you for not handling real sexual harassment on a fake shoot. You have to wonder what Tyra went through to think that that's the way you handle a situation like that.
Had she not brought this up during the actual photo shoot, guess what they would have done? During judging, they would have been like, why didn't you bring it up during the photo shoot? Why didn't you stop it? Why? We didn't know. You need to tell us these things. That's what they would have done. I guarantee you. But because she brought it up during the photo shoot, they're like, oh, well, tell him to back up in a fun way. Yeah, you just have to, Nigel's like, you just have to find a way to handle it. Like stopping the shoot, which is what she did.
Tyra's a grown woman at this time. I was 19 years old.
Could we do the I was only 18 explanation? I'm going to mark that off. I feel like that's close enough. We're 1 year off. This is the bingo card so far. Let's continue.
Moments like what Jada endured are particularly frustrating because ultimately what you're doing is a little bit of a humiliation ritual.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They need to talk about this for sure. The points that they're bringing up in this documentary are so important. This is really good so far. Very, very good. I mean, again, they get into specific problematic moments, and it's so good, and the pacing is great.
That man just is like, I don't want to kiss her. I don't really like black girls. Again, a fake shoot with a real racist in a fake scenario that you all created.
Yes, and tell me why they had Jada with him specifically, why they couldn't pair her up with someone else. And why he tells her that he doesn't like black girls. And again, why they're together for this commercial. I love how she keeps saying fake shoot. Absolutely. Keep reminding them that this is not real, that they're not being paid, and they're not professional. Like, this is not a professional situation. Because they're not represented by anyone. They don't have anyone looking out for them. And no, the show is not looking out for them.
Oh, you're going to have to give him a kiss to make him love some black girls because, what do they say?
I can't believe Tyra said that. You have to give him a kiss to make him love black girls. Yeah, that's really gonna cure the racism in him. Yeah. I can't believe she said that. I really can't. I forgot that she said that. Tyra really did not care.
What do they say? Once they go black, they don't go back. There you go.
Jada, you can't cry because we don't have time to fix your makeup.
I can't do this.
Yeah, Mr. J's awful. Mr. J, they weren't playing these clips on the Netflix documentary. Mr. J, we don't have time to fix your makeup. Can you kiss that racist real quick? Can you just hurry it up? She's crying. Mr. J is not a victim in any of this. He can be sad that he got fired, but he was getting paid on that show. And he was doing stuff like this to these girls.
She expressed her discomfort over and over and over again. And they made her do this fake commercial with a real racist.
You told me that this is the guy that said that he didn't want to kiss a black girl?
Yeah, you already knew that. Why are you asking her again? She's like, is he the one that didn't want to kiss you? I forgot. Okay, yeah, because I did it. I do this every season to another girl. And Mr. J was there as she kissed him. And he's just giving like that little look. Wrong.
Racist.
Look at Mr. J. Look at that face. And he's laughing. He's like, haha. This is just a big joke to him. Mr. J looks at him. It's just one big joke to them. But remember, Tyra's like, I don't want this to be a joke. As we have a bunch of jokers here. These two. Over here.
He doesn't like black girls.
Oh,
he's just an extra.
That should not have stopped her from doing the job that she was sent
The
there to do.
job.
At what point do you get to put your hands up and say,
An unpaid job. If we're being specific here. You have to push. Did he say you have to push through? That's on the bingo card. Hold on.
That should not have stopped her from doing the job that she was sent there to do.
I thought it was a you need to push through the pain type comment. Maybe that was, though. I'm going to do that. It is. He's like, you have to do what you need to do to get through it. We're going to mark off, you need to push through the pain. Type comment. It's one of those types of comments. Okay. They're not wasting any time on this documentary. It's not Tyra going, nah. It's none of that. It's, okay, let me list in specific with timestamps what these judges said.
I think there's a certain thing of being proud. Like, I'm black and proud, you know what I mean? But I'm not like walking on the red carpet. I'm black. Yeah, I'm black.
proud? One of the things that queer
Did Tyra make a situation about herself? That's on the bingo card.
But I'm not like walking on the red carpet. I'm black. Yeah, I'm proud.
Yeah, she kind of did make that about herself. A model was talking about how she's gay and proud, and then Tyra's like, yeah, but let me make this about me real quick. We are going to get a bingo if we get reality TV was different back then. And I know someone's going to say it. Or actually, that might not happen in this documentary. I don't think they're going down that road.
We want to support queer inclusivity, but we also need to somehow make a spectacle of it at the same time.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Wow. They are hitting every topic in this. This is amazing.
We're talking the 90s, 2000s. When you think about that time, being openly homosexual was actively exposing yourself to danger.
I just wondered, what did she think was going to happen to me afterwards?
Yeah. These are very, very good points.
I would get random calls from churches telling me to come back to the Lord.
Oh, wow.
I didn't understand how churches got my number.
If you were to ask Tyra.
So it's interesting how Ebony's story was told on the Netflix documentary versus this documentary. And I feel like in this documentary, we're getting so much more information from Ebony's story and what she had to go through being on the show. Like, I didn't know that she had churches calling her, saying to come back to the Lord. It just goes to show you the two different approaches to this subject matter. And I feel like so far, this documentary is doing a great job.
A platform, it's not safety, it's scrutiny, it's surveillance. It's inviting millions of people to have judgments on how you live your life.
And also, she took control of that narrative for Ebony. She didn't even allow Ebony to talk about it on her own terms.
The transphobia is harder to swallow than some of the other stuff because there wasn't really any other trans representation on the show. And so it really does feel like ISIS is being picked on.
Damn, ISIS, you need to shame, yeah.
I think Tyra's
I didn't like that.
I should get a pat on the back simply for for the idea of acknowledging that a trans person exists and is worth talking to.
Yeah, Tyra thought that's enough. Like, I'm going to have this trans person on my show. You know, I don't care that they're bullying her and they're treating her terribly, but I did have a trans person on my show. So that's worth patting me on the back for. So I get the accolades for that. I did that. I was diverse. I chose diverse people. You chose diverse people, but how were those people treated on your show? And after the show? We should talk about that. It's like, that's the whole thing that's missing.
Tyra wasn't trying to help these girls. They were trying to create a great TV show.
That's all there is to it. They should have opened the documentary with that. She wasn't trying to help these girls. It was all about good TV. Yeah. It wasn't about having a successful modeling career for the girls. No. It's about having a successful show for us.
I think in the first couple seasons it tried to take itself a little bit seriously, and then it just got like wacky.
These are giant Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
Not the cockroaches.
Going crazy.
We were put through things that would never happen in real life.
So you girls are going to be shooting.
Yeah. Going down the runway with a cockroach? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that would happen every day. They are not letting anything slide in this documentary. They are showing everything. And they're efficient about it too. I mean, we're 30 minutes in and they've packed in so many issues that this show has had. I mean, my God, I'm losing count. I am losing track of all the problematic stuff. It's like a syllabus. They're hitting every topic. They're like, oh, you thought we forgot about that? No, and this, and the makeovers, and this. It's everything.
You find out what someone's fear is, and then you find a way to exploit it on television. If you find out the girl is afraid of spiders, guess what she's gonna be doing?
I'm definitely afraid.
That's right.
A photo shoot with spiders.
A photo shoot with spiders. Tarantulas. A tarantula. Not even the itsy bitsy spider. No. His grandma, the tarantula. Is that a descendant of the spider? I don't know. Are they ancestral? Are they the ancestors of the spider? Does the spider have a family tree? It's probably linked. They're probably all connected somehow. But they don't start small. They don't do small things on the show. It's go big or go home on the show.
Tissue paper, please.
They made these models work with snakes.
What do you mean they made these models work with? Janice, you were on cycle 1. What are you talking about? They made these. Cut to Janice at the judging panel, please. What is she talking about? They made these. It's as if she has nothing to do with it. She's like, wasn't me. It was them.
Dangling over a pit probably was more of a liability than an actual shot for a magazine.
Yeah, also the harness is covering all the clothes. So what was the point of doing this? Who found this location? I want to know who found this location. They were location scouting and they're like, this is the place that we're doing this fashion shoot and over this giant hole. You have a budget of over $50 and this is the location you choose? They could be doing so much. They could be doing so many cool couture shoots. They get the best makeup artist, best hairstyle. Like, they could get the best of the best for these photo shoots. And they chose a giant hole in an abandoned building. Little fly corpses everywhere.
There were a lot of things done in Top Model that they got wrong.
Okay, tell us those things.
And one challenge got it very wrong.
And they get into specifics. Netflix would never.
I think Hulu banned
Blackface?
this one now.
Oh, it's
refused.
It's the blackface photo shoot.
And yet no one
I knew they're gonna add that. I knew it. That was on my last bingo card. The blackface photo shoot mentioned. I didn't put it on this one because I wanted to change stuff up, but I kind of already knew that was gonna happen. Humiliating challenge clip. I feel like they've shown that. So maybe let's cross that off because I feel like they did a whole compilation of humiliating challenge clips. So we're going to cross off humiliating challenge clip. I feel like that was in there somewhere and I lost track of that. We have 2 possibilities for a bingo. If we get the NDA mentioned or reality TV was different back then, we can get a bingo. We are very close.
The challenge here really is taking on the persona of that other
And Mr. J in the Netflix documentary tells us that he did not want to be associated with this photo shoot. But Tyra said, oh, we'll just take care of it. Just go do your job or something like that. And he ended up still being involved in this. But he tells us he didn't want to be involved in it. So just to let you know.
We're all scared of Tyra.
I think that the race swap challenges that the show did a couple of times.
A couple
in
of
some
times,
ways
not
have
just
become
one
A
time.
little bit of a scapegoat so that contemporary reality television doesn't have to grapple with its own issues of racism.
Wow. That is a powerful thing to say. They got the professor of film and media studies from Columbia University, Raquel Gates, to give commentary on this. The people that they've been getting to share their thoughts have just been, I think they did such a good job, because again, we're tackling not just the surface of it, but the fact that it goes much deeper.
The worst thing about that challenge was the judging panel and the ways that they seem to understand racial identity, such that it's a thing that can be authentically performed.
Brittany. See, I never even thought about it like that. So I appreciate this point of view. This is a different take to it, right? This goes a little bit deeper.
You look like a black girl, girl. You like my cousin. Feeling it as
Tyra's saying you're like my cousin. It's just, she's wrong for making them do that. She's wrong for that, Tyra, to make them, and then to say that it's like my cousin.
The show wants to celebrate blackness, but only a very limited idea of what blackness can be.
Wow. There's been a lot of talk about how Tyra treats black models on the show specifically, and how it seems like she's harder on them than she is the other models. So that was a topic of conversation and a lot of comments that I've seen.
That's the ghetto walk. If she took a little bit of hoochie out of that ghetto walk, that would have been Naomi.
Tyra seemed weirdly obsessed with and repulsed
I thought she was
by-
going to say Naomi. When she said upset, Tyra was obsessed, I was like, Naomi Campbell. But no, Ray says repulsed by all things ghetto. They are not leaving any stone unturned.
Like obvious markers of like lower middle class, lower class black people. But then Tyra always went out of her way to cast women who were coded in that way.
See, I didn't really think about that in that way. These are the topics that we wanted discussed, and they got the best people to discuss them.
As a result, you're going to be consistently punished for being a product of your own circumstances.
Wow.
Chelsea, we love your teeth.
And then they show Chelsea saying that they love her teeth. She happens to have a little bit of a gap and that they want to widen it. So Danny's gap was not okay. It needs to be closed. It's not marketable. In the Netflix documentary, Tyra tells us that the reason why she pushed Danny to get this gap closed is because of the agents from the modeling agency and them saying, okay, she's not going to get any work if she has this gap in her mouth. She said that Danny couldn't get work because of her gap. And then even after Danny won her cycle, in the Netflix documentary, she talks about how after the show ended, it was hard for her to find work because she was a part of America's Next Top Model. That the agency says we have to treat you differently because you were on the show. She wasn't getting castings. She wasn't getting jobs. Like, people didn't want her in the runways because it was going to take away from the clothes. So it just, and then it cuts to Chelsea and then them wanting to widen her gap because now they find it to be fashionable.
There's no way that I believe that it's lost on Tyra how offensive and hurtful it is to call a black woman, especially a dark-skinned one, ashy.
When she said my skin texture was too rough, she knew my skin texture wasn't too rough. She knew what she was doing.
Wow. And the commenters also, I love that they have black women commenting on this as well. I think that's so important. They have Ebony talking about this. This documentary is handling these themes of black women and what they had to go through on the show so much more like eloquently than on, I don't even think it was really touched upon in the Netflix documentary as much as it is in this one. Not only that, they're bringing in black women to comment on this and give their point of view.
As a black woman in high fashion, I'm sure, Tyra was made to feel ghetto, lower class, inferior. And so I can imagine that has a lot to do with her obsession with black presentation in different spaces.
It's like you as a black woman knew what you had to go through, like how hard it was to get into the industry, how you were treated. Why are you then treating other black women like this? Especially models on your show They're aspiring models. They trusted you to help them with this process. And then you treat them like that, and you treat them badly.
Tyra felt like she was bullied by Naomi Campbell, that there wasn't room for 2 black girls in the industry.
I think I've been a serious victim of pitting one black model against another.
And where has that been done again? On your show. She's like, I've been a victim of that. Oh, that was 1994, Tyra.
I think she really did feel like she was sort of competing with Naomi.
When you're presented as the other person's replacement, maybe you do get mean and maybe you do
Ray,
get
oh my God. She's like, when you're introduced as a replacement to Naomi Campbell, they're talking about Naomi and Tyra's feud, how they felt like there can only be one successful black model in the industry, and their beef behind the scenes and all of that.
Tyra's been working out her Naomi rivalry with every black woman she's come across in the 30 years since.
Whoa.
I don't even think Tyra really wants any of us to become stars.
Brittany's. Because maybe that's more competition for her, perhaps.
I don't even think Tyra really wants any of us to become stars.
That's so
Tyra
real.
didn't want any competition.
Tyra was breaking the girls down so she could feel better about herself.
Whoa. Janice even says Tyra didn't want any competition. Did that include you, Janice?
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
All of us were standing there like, it did not feel like a mother yelling at her daughter. It just felt like someone just yelling at someone kicking a dog when they're down.
She went off on one girl that was so frightening that I was going to get up and like hold her down.
Janice talks about how it was so frightening when Tyra was yelling at this girl that she was going to get up and hold her down. But I remember her sitting down in that chair like this for the moment with Tiffany. It's always 20 years later, the judges are like, yeah, I was going to get up and stop it, and it was unbelievable. And then they're sitting like this in the clip. They're like, okay, when's lunch? None of them did anything. They're like, Nigel, in the Netflix documentary, Nigel was like, I was going to fall out of my chair or something. I'm like, you look like you were seated quite nicely in that chair. You weren't going anywhere.
She would go harder on the black girls on the show because it's about competitiveness.
Janice is saying that. Jealousy?
And she being older than these young models.
You take responsibility.
Does Tyra know Janice is saying stuff like this in this documentary?
She was always trying to be this tough teen mom to the girls, but she just did not build up enough confidence in the girls. They left the show completely depressed and depleted while she got so effing rich.
Okay, but what about you, come on, Janice. Okay. The shade from Janice. She's like, she got so rich. Janice, weren't you paid for being on the show too? Maybe she did it for free. Maybe she just loves it them. I don't know. So it wasn't just Tyra though. There was a whole production team. There were the judges. There were other people involved in this that were also making a lot of money. So I think everyone's quick to blame Tyra, yes, because she's the face of the show. She's the executive producer. Yes, but there were other people involved as well.
Paulina Portakova says that you lack respect for the co-judges. Janice Dickinson said that you were righteous. Why do you think both of them had such negative things to say about their experience? Why do you think?
Whoa, why do you think? With a smile on her face. This is the look someone gives you right before they're about to turn that camera off and tell you how they really feel. She's like, I didn't agree to this. This smile right here is not a smile at all. She's like, oh, you really think you're going to ask me that? And you're going to put me on blast in front of everyone?
Negative things to say about their experience. Why do you think? Wasn't there. She doesn't want to go there. Why do you think? I don't know. Jealous? Is that what you're saying? I'm asking you. You said it. I didn't say that word. You said it.
Oh my gosh. The publicist is like, she doesn't want to go there. Just like, what? What did we hear in the Netflix documentary? It's not the time or place. It's just, I should call Mr. J. Yeah. He's a special man. Yeah, but I don't want to do this here. Tyra asks the reporter, what do you think? Why do you think they said that about me? When you can just ask me about that, and then I can tell you. But I'm not going to tell you. You should tell me why you think. But what are we doing, Tyra? ما عم بفهم Tyra, what's going on?
I don't know.
She doesn't, she's
Jealous
never
is
gonna
not
know.
interested. Yeah, I'm asking you. You said it. I didn't say that word. You said it.
I would have left immediately.
America's Next.
She's like, turn that off. Let's end this here. Okay. That's a smile your mom makes when you're out being reckless in public and she's, you know, you're going to get your ass beat when you get back home. And then you just got to wait the whole day for her to hit you so you can finally continue on your normal life. You're like, okay, it's only 5 more hours till she hits me.
America's Next Top Model really tortured these girls for Tyra Banks' ego.
What do you mean America's Next Top Model really tortured these girls? You were on the show. You were a part of America's Next Top Model, Janice. والله ما عم بفهم. عم تعمل حالة إنه هيك like she had nothing to do with this. Janice, am I being gaslit into thinking Janice said, if you never watched the show in your life and you were watching this documentary, would you know Janice is part of the show? She's like, you know, what they did was really absolutely terrible. They tortured these girls. They were depressed and depleted. Girl, they just showed a compilation of you body shaming like 5 people. But remember, they told her to be mean. It wasn't who she was.
She put the girls down for everything. The hairstyles, the way they walk, the way they hold their face. It really tore their ego and identity.
I mean, it's true. Yes. And you were a part of that also.
I was there and I saw it for 4 seasons. She was a hardcore bitch.
40. I thought there was going to be an apology in there, but no. Apology where? No. In episode 1, we've managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bingo squares marked off. We are so close to a bingo. It's going to happen in episode 2. I know that for sure. Look out for episode 2 where we will finish the bingo card, hopefully, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this documentary. What do you guys think about the judges not being part of this documentary, and also Tyra? Do you guys think it's better? Do you think they should have had them included? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in episode 2 where we will hopefully get a bingo. I think it's going to happen.